Now get a Silverado with 3.9% APR financing for up to 36 months.
The new Coin 6 OMSI Weather Lab, only on Coin 6 News.
Changing times. Bob Jones University drops its ban on interracial dating, but in Alabama, old times are not forgotten. Bill Bradley takes the high road as his campaign struggles to reach Super Tuesday. Devastation in Mozambique, receding floodwaters reveal a monumental disaster. And growing pains for high-tech food with new government rules on the way.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. America's struggle with the sometimes explosive issue of race relations is getting a lot of attention this weekend. On one front, the president has made what some are calling a controversial statement on a case where an unarmed black man was killed by 4 white police officers. And in South Carolina, a school under fire is making news again by doing something critics say was long overdue. Jeffrey Kaufman has details.
The college that changed the course of the Republican primaries has succumbed to change itself. Bob Jones University, the Christian fundamentalist school that became a household name when George W. Bush appeared there last month, has suddenly, if reluctantly, dropped its ban on interracial dating.
Our concern for the school's broader usefulness is greater to us than a rule that we never talk about and that is meaningless to us. The principle upon which it's based is very, very important.
I understand.
But the rule itself is not.
It is a seismic shift for students at an institution that has resisted change for all its 73 years.
It's such a small matter. I mean, the interracial dating is not as big as everyone's making it seem.
I think he was a little bit pressured too, but I think he made the right decision. I don't think Bob Jones has had a change of heart. I think that perhaps Bob Jones has had a change of mind.
To critics of Bob Jones University, the change isn't cause for rejoicing. It is simply overdue.
I'm suspicious when a change comes under this kind of pressure. I would not rush too fast to believe that we have reached a new milestone here.
Suddenly, America is talking about race again. But has anything really changed? The president doesn't think so. This weekend, he made it clear he believes the shooting of an unarmed black man by New York police was all about race.
If it had been a young white man in a young all-white neighborhood, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Is America getting any better at talking about these issues directly and honestly than it has for the last 20 years?
Not about race. America is not getting any better in talking about race.
And a reminder today of how slowly things do change. In Montgomery, Alabama, several thousand self-described Southern secessionists jeered the American flag and called for a return to the old days and the old South. Jeffrey Kaufman, CBS News, New York.
With Super Tuesday just 3 days away, it's a busy weekend for all the presidential hopefuls. This Tuesday, the most delegates in the history of American politics are up for grabs. And the polls show that could mean bad news for a man who says he's down but not out yet. John Roberts has the story.
Down by as much as 53 points heading into Super Tuesday, Bill Bradley is back on the political high road, where he started his campaign.
The tone of the campaign has changed. What's the reason for that?
Well, I think this country deserves to know what somebody's for, and that's what I'm telling them in my campaign. That's what I've been doing through the whole time.
It's a strategic about-face for Bradley, who until this week relentlessly hammered the vice president on his abortion and gun control record and votes that preserve the tax-exempt status of Bob Jones University.
You have to face up to this if you're going to be a strong leader.
The shift began Wednesday after Bradley's huge loss in Washington state. At a debate that night, Bradley had to be pushed to even mildly criticize Gore. And at campaign events in California, didn't even mention the vice president.
Is this a change in direction?
Well, you detected a nuance there that I hadn't planned.
Bradley's staffers say the nuance was anything but unintended. Democratic strategists believe that facing insurmountable odds, Bradley is now playing the good Democrat.
I think he understands the longer this negative road goes, the more damage to Gore, while the Republicans are beating themselves up. And he has always been a party person, and I think, and a team player. And this is the ultimate team play.
While Bradley has stopped criticizing Gore in his stump speeches, behind the scenes, his staffers continue to hand out literature to reporters criticizing Gore. Bradley may be prepared to give the vice president a fair ride going into Super Tuesday, but it won't be a free ride. John Roberts, CBS News, New York.
The Republicans rolled through the Northeast, a key Super Tuesday battleground. John McCain attacked George W. Bush again over big money TV ads paid for by a Bush supporter from Texas. McCain said the Bush campaign, quote, knows no depths. Bush went to upstate New York criticizing McCain's views in education. Polls show a close race in New York, and McCain leading in some New England states. The most super state of Super Tuesday is California, where the most delegates are at stake for candidates of both parties. But if you think there is any connection between winning the popular vote and winning delegates, here's Eric Ingberg with a reality check.
Democracy at work. So pure, so simple. The people vote, the winner wins.
Thank you all very much.
Time out. In California, it's not simple at all. The winner can be a loser. That's the way the two parties want it, and many voters are miffed.
I think these people need a good reality check, is what I think.
Okay, here's a try. California used to have an old-fashioned closed primary. Only Republicans could vote for Republicans, only Democrats could vote for Democrats. Independents were locked out. Then Californians, wanting more participation, voted for what's called a blanket primary. Under the new scheme, everyone, regardless of party, can vote for any candidate they want.
All of this new age laid-back openness went down like a wet blanket with the old-line regulars who run the National Party. They put the screws on California officials who, dismissing what the voters had voted for, turned one election into two elections.
It is completely bizarre. It is entirely confusing. It is totally indefensible.
Now, everyone can still vote in the blanket primary, but it's just a meaningless beauty contest. The parties, in deciding who wins the delegates, will only count the votes of party members, just like before. Many Californians, their votes rendered useless, can only shake their heads.
So what's the point?
Conceivably, a candidate could win the popular vote, but lose the delegates.
It's just a waste of time to me. I mean, why count something if you're not going to count it?
Why care if you're not a Californian? Well, the state has 16% of the delegates needed to nominate. It's winner take all, and McCain is given a good chance there against Bush, largely because of the support of Democrats and independents. But if their votes don't count, then California may have given us another first, the loser take all primary. Eric Ingberg, CBS News, Washington.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News, Princess Diana's bodyguard tells his version of the crash. Also, a food fight over organic and genetically modified products. And later, why you don't want a phone call from this lady.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, we're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends March 11th.
Sis, I snooped in your medicine cabinet. So? You switched to X-Lax.
Yeah, Correctol works with an artificial chemical. X-Lax works with natural senna.
Very effectively, too.
You tried it.
What a find.
What a snoop.
Good morning, guaranteed. Hosting a major golf tournament takes a lot of preparation, and no one knows that better than Arnold Palmer. Just ask Susan, his manager. With just one call, Office Depot delivers everything she needs to file dozens of registration forms and stacks of publicity folders. Yet even with all the last-minute details, Susan still finds time to take on an even bigger challenge. 18 holes with the boss.
Taking care of business.
Office Depot. Taking care of business.
Stiff aching joints can make life difficult.
My joints felt locked up, and then I tried OsteoBiflex. It's a natural supplement with glucosamine and chondroitin.
OsteoBiflex actually repairs cartilage and lubricates joints over time.
OsteoBiflex helped renew my life. It works for me.
OsteoBiflex. Repair, rebuild, renew cartilage.
The outlook is not promising for flood-ravaged Mozambique with another powerful storm on the way. More than 1 million people in the East African country are affected. The number of dead expected to number in the thousands. Alan Pizzi found firsthand a scene of epic tragedy and hopelessness.
Frantic rescue operation is turning into classic disaster relief. Camps are being organized. People who survive days upon miserable days on little more than hope and desperation are being fed. But that is barely a beginning. This is Shai, capital of Gaza province, a function difficult to imagine it fulfilling today. It will take these residents between 3 and 4 hours just to get to the nearest usable road, if they don't sink first. Sanso Kamalo has a passport to go somewhere else, but nature has made a mockery of the niceties of documents, borders, and rules.
I don't know how I can arrive there. It's too long. I don't know where I'm going.
Cars waiting to fill up when the flood hit are now filled only with water. People here were trying to become a part of the global society, but they didn't have such modern conveniences as insurance. No state disaster relief funds will be set up, and Main Street banks filled with muddy water won't be handing out rebuilding loans.
Coping with a disaster like this would tax the resources of an industrialized nation. For a country that has barely dragged itself above the level of least developed, it is nothing short of catastrophic, and it will take years to recover. The average annual income here was $90, and for many peasants, cattle are money. The chances of these surviving have to be rated slim at best, and coming to get them is dangerous. This is a cobra. The water has gone down 4 feet, but more may be on its way from Cyclone Gloria, which could hit Tuesday. And even when nature leaves Mozambique in peace again, what is left for most victims will be worthless anyway. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Shai.
Princess Diana's bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, said today he is still haunted by the fatal car crash. The only survivor of the accident said he would have traded his own life to save the others in the car. In a newspaper interview, Rees-Jones ridiculed conspiracy theories about the crash, but blamed the high-speed accident on travel arrangements insisted upon by Diana's boyfriend, Dodi Fayed. Coming up on the CBS Evening News, what perfume you wear or smell may affect your health. Then, what would you tell this lady if you saw her in the store?
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table? Reservation? Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington? Sir, that's only $1. Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee.
Great rates and no monthly fee?
All day, every day.
Look this way.
Dial 10, 10, 220.
Why nasal cramp? Look at me. I'm not sneezing, but I'm not drowsy. I'm not stuffy, but I'm not jittery. Nasal Cramp's incredible. It prevents allergies with none of these side effects. Nasal Cramp. The best way to stop suffering is never to start.
Lobster Fest has arrived. Our annual celebration of everything lobster. So don't hide. Escape to Red Lobster.
Please welcome today's guest, Drew Carey.
Well, today I'm going to show everyone how to install DirecTV.
Great.
First, you take your drill, your wrench, your stud finder. This will come in handy, just in case.
Fantastic.
And chuck it out the window. Because now, not only to get more movies and sports and stuff and digital quality picture and sound, but installation's free too. DirecTV, now with local channels. My work is done here.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up.
The madness is coming to CBS.
A third fatal highway accident has been linked to a license for sale scandal in Illinois, first reported in the CBS News Eye on America investigation. This 74-car pileup in California in 1998 that left 2 dead was blamed on a truck driver from Chicago. Tomorrow's edition of the Chicago Tribune says the driver has admitted receiving his license after paying a bribe to the Illinois Secretary of State's office. The federal government announces new regulations next week that spell out what organic food is. The rules will say that no food that is genetically modified can be called organic. As Randall Pinkston reports, many Americans are already questioning whether modified food belongs on the table.
At New York City's famed Lutèce restaurant, Chef Eberhard Müller uses only the best ingredients. To ensure freshness and taste, he even grows much of his own produce.
You can't make a good meal if you don't have good raw products.
But there's one kind of raw product he refuses to put in any of his dishes: genetically altered food.
I think that genetically altered foods have not researched sufficiently to know what kind of effects there might be, long-term effects.
Most Europeans have already rejected genetically modified foods. Today in New York, food and nutrition experts met to explore how Americans should respond to the new technology.
European consumers looked hard at this technology, knew a lot more about it than American consumers do, and basically said, there aren't any benefits here for us.
But proponents insist genetic modification is safe and natural.
We're not talking about a scary new world. We're talking about the evolution of science.
Still, many Americans are beginning to wonder if they should be worried. But if they want to find out if their food is genetically modified, they won't find it on the label.
I don't think I would buy it if I knew that something was genetically altered.
Every survey out there says people want labeling to give them the choice in the marketplace of whether or not to go with this technology.
That's not true.
True or not, Americans are asking more and more questions, and the answers could determine whether they will know that they are cooking with genetically altered foods. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, New York.
In the CBS Health Watch tonight, asthma sufferers have said for years that smelling perfume can set off an attack. Now, new research proves it. Tulane University scientists found Red and Charlie the most likely to cause breathing problems of the dozens tested. Giorgio, opium, white diamonds, and poison are also among the worst for people with asthma. A story you really have to see to believe tonight. This Pennsylvania woman was stabbed on the way to the grocery store yesterday. You can see the knife in this surveillance video. The woman did not realize it, and no one else in the store said anything. The woman is in fair condition tonight after her daughter removed the knife at home. There is more to come in the CBS Evening News, including a controversial way of spotting troublemakers in the schoolyard, and a true believer in Everybody Has a Story.
This can't be happening. My family, how will they manage? Men get heart attacks, not women, not me.
It's the #1 killer of women. It's heart disease, and it's now been proven that the same aspirin you take for pain can help stop women from dying if taken during a heart attack. Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
How you feel? I'll be fine.
There. Take it for pain. Take it for life.
In this place, I see a lot of gas. I also see a lot of folks reaching for the wrong medicine. But Gas X is the most powerful medicine to relieve gas fast. Nothing I've seen works faster. Gas X beats the bloat fast.
Nothing you do says you love your cat more than protecting her from harm. That's why now there's Revolution. Revolution is the only one that protects against heartworm, fleas, and other harmful parasites with just a spot once a month. And Revolution is not a pesticide. So ask your veterinarian about Revolution today. Revolution is for cats 6 weeks or older. Approximately 1% of cats experience digestive upset or temporary hair loss at the application site. Use with caution in sick, weak, or underweight animals. Revolution. It will protect those you love, inside and out.
When we asked some denture wearers why they don't use an adhesive, they didn't have a lot to say. Don't need it.
My dentures fit fine. No problems here.
But after we gave them Fix-A-Dent, they just couldn't say enough.
It's amazing, the difference. It's a great new feeling of security.
Comfort.
Confidence.
I just plain forget I have them. That's because Fix-A-Dent adjusts to the unique contours of your dentures and gums, forming a thin, powerful seal for a better hold than you ever thought possible.
I could just kick myself for not doing this sooner.
Find out for yourself what it feels like to Fix-A-Dent and forget it.
Governor George W. Bush and Senator John McCain will talk to both Republican candidates 2 days before Super Tuesday on Face the Nation Sunday.
6-year-old Kayla Rolland was buried in private services today in Flint, Michigan, 5 days after another 6-year-old, a classmate, allegedly shot her to death. The tragedy has given urgency to new efforts to spot potentially violent youngsters. And that's the subject of the Weekend Perspective. At Von Steuben High School in Chicago, teachers and school administrators are using a controversial new technique to try to identify students who may be prone to violence.
We want to stop whatever aggressions or feelings that the student has before it reaches the point where actually it's too late.
It's called student profiling, using a computer program similar to those employed by the FBI to track down career criminals. Counselors at nearly 30 schools across the country are trying to spot students who may be a threat to their classmates.
It is a series of questions based on situations that we will answer or attempt to answer about the student. And it would further give me clues of what to look for in aggressive behavior in, say, teenagers.
Only students who say or do violent things are screened. The idea is to get help for troubled students, not stereotype them unfairly, according to Phyllis Hodges, the assistant principal of Von Steuben High.
And I see no reason for any student or parent to fear that we will unjustly identify their student as overly aggressive.
I think in the current punitive climate in schools, it's very dangerous for them to take on these simple screening instruments.
James Garbarino is worried that some schools will misuse student profiles and blame the boys, and almost all of those responsible for school violence are boys, instead of the culture they grow up in.
There's a common thread that ties together most cases of lethal violence by kids, and that is that they come out of families and communities where they're abused, neglected, emotionally deprived, they're not supervised.
Much like the 6-year-old in Michigan. Garbarino is not surprised at how young the killer was. Surveys show that 1/3 of 8-year-olds say they could get a gun if they wanted.
Virtually every school in the country, every elementary school, has boys who are very troubled, angry, who have access to weapons, whose heads are filled with scenarios of violence and revenge. It shouldn't be surprising that one of those boys slips through.
The program is still experimental, and even its supporters say it's too early to know whether this effort will help reduce violence in schools.
I don't just paste my dentures anymore. Now I bond them with C-Bond denture adhesive.
Only C-Bond is a soft, micro-thin seal with 2 powerful adhesives that bond dentures to your gums, so they can hold and fit comfortably all day.
I can bite and chew with confidence.
Easy to remove, no messy cleanups. Bond your dentures with C-Bond. And now discover C-Bond Natural Fresh, all-day bonding power with natural mint freshness for fresher breath.
We are healthy, strong, funny, energetic, even sexy. We take good care of ourselves, and we drink Ensure when we can eat nutritious foods like these. Ensure provides essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish. Ensure is a source of complete balanced nutrition and energy, so we can get the most out of life. Drink Ensure, and drink to your health.
Just when you think you have the latest computer, you don't. But you can get one that's never outdated. Come to Gateway Country and get a fresh PC you can trade in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years, featuring the AMD Athlon processor at 650 megahertz for $37 a month.
Why nasal cramp? Look at me. I'm not sneezing, but I'm not drowsy. I'm not stuffy, but I'm not jittery. Nasal cramp's incredible. It prevents allergies with none of these side effects. Nasal cramp. The best way to stop suffering is never to start.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, we're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends March 11th.
Do you feel overworked and underpaid? Maybe you're not getting paid enough, but here's the money question. What are you worth? We'll help you figure out your cash value next week on The Early Show.
Countdown to Super Tuesday. We'll have complete coverage of the final moments of campaigning in these make-or-break multi-state races Monday on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Finally this evening, faith can be the most powerful force in the world, even in the face of a very grim reality. The power of faith and love is the guiding force in one mother's life, as Steve Hartman tells us in tonight's Everybody Has a Story.
We arrived in Seminole, Oklahoma on a Saturday night. Okay. And good thing we did.
Here we go.
A day later, and I would have missed my only chance to see this woman,
Lula Morton,
actually leave the house. Just on Sundays, 86-year-old Lula Morton calls upon every frail bone in her body, every swollen joint.
Let me hold your hand like now.
And at least one person in the parking lot.
Thank you.
To help deliver her here.
As long as I've got breath and I'm able to put one foot in front of the other, I'll be at church.
Lula is the second oldest member of the Bow Legs Assembly of God Church. And not only does she faithfully attend, but when the service is over, she goes home and telephones every member who, for whatever sorry reason, didn't make it to church.
I'm running down the absentees, son.
This all comes naturally to Lula, who for 65 years was a preacher herself. Ordained at just 15, she spent most of her adult life as a missionary. She worked on Indian reservations, where she touched a lot of lives. 4, very dearly.
I have a real, sincere love for every child that I have taken in.
But her devotion to children has also brought pain. Over the years, Lula adopted 4 Native American kids. She says 3 were a joy. But the 4th one, the one in the bottom right, has been such a challenge.
Knowing what you know now, would you do it all over again?
No.
And I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't want you to do this again.
Lula's son, Tim, is an alcoholic. He lost his driver's license 6 years ago and has been in jail several times for other alcohol-related offenses. And yet, the police don't even know about much of what he's done. Over the past few years, Tim has stolen from his mother cars, appliances, jewelry, cash.
But it wasn't done to necessarily hurt her. This was done to support my own alcoholism.
God admitting they're in power. Lula's confidant through all of this has been Pastor Roy Robertson.
Amen.
His advice
Enough's enough.
was tough love. He suggested she press charges.
Correct him, son.
And what did she say to that?
Said I will, but she didn't.
Why do you put up with it?
Because I love him.
And that's the rub for anyone who lives with an alcoholic. He won't or can't help himself, and Lula won't or can't bring herself to kick him out. So every week she prays for God's intervention. Lula has always said if Tim would just do the same, he'd get better. And that may be the kernel of hope here. Although I never saw him, apparently, for the first time in years, Tim was in church today. And to Lula, that qualifies as a sign from God.
Did you know that Tim was in church this
I've seen that. I've seen that. I watched all that. I like it.
God's still on the throne.
Yes, he is. Steve Hartman, CBS News.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Tomorrow on Sunday morning, director Sam Mendes talks about his films, including Oscar contender American Beauty. Then on Face the Nation, Republican presidential candidates George W. Bush and John McCain. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News, New York. Good night.
For News 24.